Arionne Curry has once again found herself at the center of conversation after a seemingly casual Instagram post sent love and marriage Huntsville fans into a frenzy. Posting the cryptic yet confident caption, "Some days I'm the main character. Other days I'm off the grid." Balance. Arionne didn't tag anyone, didn't call names, and didn't add context, but the internet didn't need much to connect the dots. For years, her name has been linked to Martell Holt in one of the most publicized and polarizing love triangles reality TV has ever seen. So when Arionne speaks, even in just a few words, people pay attention, dissect every syllable, and decide for themselves exactly what she meant. You are not going to believe what went down this week. So make sure you watch this video all the way until the end, because the tea is pouring and every single drop matters. This is one of those situations where the more you look at it, the messier it gets. Martell is back at it again, sitting down, with his mom smiling, talking nice, showing love, and I have to admit, his mom really did look nice. And you know, we're always told growing up, find a man who loves his mama, right? But as much as Martell seems to adore his mother, it's wild how that love never seemed to spill over into his marriage with Melody. Instead, we got years of infidelity, public drama, and the never-ending saga that somehow always comes back to Arionne. And speaking of Arionne, Martell wanted to make it clear this time that it wasn't all her fault. He put the blame squarely on himself. Now, that sounds noble, right? But let's be honest, Arionne was no innocent bystander in all of this. She's been on interviews talking about how Martell was calling her, chasing her, begging for her attention. And even if that was true, once, you know, a man is married, we all know there's a little thing called blocking his number. It's not rocket science. But instead of hitting block, she kept the door wide open, and here we are years later, still talking about it. The conversation with his mom took a real turn when she said how hurt she was by his actions, because Melody and the kids weren't just his family, they were hers too. She saw the beauty in what they had, and like so many of us watching, she's probably wondering why it had to end the way it did. But Martell, instead of truly reflecting on all of that, starts talking about moving Arionne into one of his investment properties. And here's where things get even more questionable. He says she can't live with him until there's a ring on her finger, but then adds, if she's the one. If she's the one. After all these years, that's the part that had everyone online scratching their heads. Fans immediately started saying this felt less like a serious relationship and more like a storyline for the cameras. Because, let's be real, Martell has been given every opportunity to lock this down if he really wanted to. So why keep her hanging on the edge of if after so long? And then there's the money part. He says her lease is up, so he's going to move her into a house he owns. But wait, wasn't this the same property he was trying to sell for something like $300,000 before dropping the price? If he really was serious about selling, why let her live there rent-free with kids, risking damage to a brand new home and getting nothing out of it financially? Fans online were quick to call that move out, saying it made zero sense unless there's another motive, like keeping her close enough to use for his storyline whenever needed. Then Arionne decided she wasn't about to let the episode air without having her own say. She took to Instagram late at night, posting about being pretty, put up, and pursuing my dreams. People immediately started reading between the lines. Pretty okay? That's self-explanatory. Put up? Was that her way of saying she's being taken care of financially by Martell? And pursuing my dreams, is that her going back to nursing school? Something Martell had mentioned in the first episode this season. But the real post that set tongues wagging was when she wrote, "Some days I'm the main character. Other days I'm off the grid. Balance." She knew exactly what she was doing with that one, because right now she is the main character. In Martell's storyline, this whole season so far has been filled with him bringing her name into conversations, setting up situations that keep her relevant, and fans are clocking it. What's wild about the Arionne situation is that for someone who swears she's unbothered, she seems to have a knack for dropping these cryptic messages right when her name is trending. It's almost like she's mastered the art of staying relevant without having to actually film on the show. And whether you love her or can't stand her, you have to admit she knows how to keep people talking. Fans notice that the timing of her Instagram posts always seems to line up with big Martell moments on love and marriage. Huntsville. It's like she's sending signals without actually saying names. But the deeper issue here is how she's been positioned in Martell's life for so long. Let's not forget, Arionne has been around for years now. She's not some random fling who popped up and disappeared. This is someone who has openly said she was the one Martell really loved. And yet here we are in 2025. And she's still being referred to as if she's the one by the man she claims was her soulmate. Fans are calling it embarrassing, saying that no woman with real respect would let a man play in her face for this long while still dangling the promise of commitment. And then there's the fact that she has a child with him. That complicates things even more because whether Martell marries her or not, she's always going to be connected to him through that child. Some fans argue that's exactly why she's still hanging around, because she knows she'll always have a direct line to him, whether Melody likes it or not. Others believe she still holds on to hope that one day Martell will make it right and give her the wedding ring and public validation she's been craving all these years. What's really dividing fans is whether Arionne is playing the victim or the villain. Some feel bad for her, saying she's been emotionally manipulated for years and Martell is using her for convenience, both romantically and as a backup storyline. Others say she knew exactly what she was doing from the start, breaking up a marriage and then thinking she could win over public sympathy. The truth is probably somewhere in the middle, but either way, she's become one of the most talked about names in the Huntsville reality TV universe without ever holding a full-time spot on the cast. Production's role in all this can't be ignored either. The fact that her name keeps getting brought up, even without her being in scenes, tells us they know she's good for ratings. Viewers tune in just to see if Martell's going to slip up and admit more than he should. And every time Arionne posts something shady online, it gives the show free promotion because people run straight to social media to discuss it. Some fans even believe producers might be encouraging Martell to keep her in the conversation just to stir up drama. At the end of the day, the Arionne Curry situation is one big loop. Messy Instagram posts, Martell making questionable decisions, fans dragging them both, and then the cycle starts over again. And the longer it continues, the more it becomes clear that no matter what Melody or anyone else does, Arionne isn't going anywhere. She might not have the ring, she might not have the title, but she's got Martell's attention and a permanent place in the storyline. And for some people, that's more than enough. Fans have been lighting up social media with their takes on Arionne's latest moves, and the comments are as divided as ever. One side is dragging her for still letting Martell string her along after all these years. Sis, you're the side chick emeritus at this point, one fan wrote. You got tenure in the Side Chick Hall of Fame. Retire gracefully. Others pointed out that she could have leveraged her situation into something better for herself by now. Girl, you had the tea before the show even aired. You could have been the one with the reality check and the reality bag, but you stayed for crumbs. Then you have the fans who go straight for comedy. One viral tweet said, Arionne Curry has been in Martell's life longer than some people have had iPhones, and yet still no ring? Another one read, every time Martell calls her if she's the one, an angel loses its wings. The humor is brutal, but it's also a reflection of how people are genuinely baffled at how long this saga has dragged on. Of course, Arionne does have her defenders. Some fans argue that she's the one person who's actually been loyal to Martell through all his mess. Melody left. The guys in the group turned on him. The network makes him look crazy, and Arionne is still there. One person posted in a Facebook group. They claim that kind of loyalty is rare, even if it doesn't look good from the outside. But that comment thread quickly turned into a war zone, with other fans replying, "Loyal to a cheater." That's not loyalty. That's low self-esteem. Another hot topic among viewers is whether Arionne is intentionally staying just messy, enough to keep her name circulating in the Lamb fandom without ever officially joining the cast. She's playing the long game, one YouTuber speculated. If she stays in the shadows, she can control her own narrative. But if she goes on the show, production will have receipts and edit her however they want.